Tammy Langner with NBC News. Do you believe the suspect planned to ambush these officers?
At this time, no, we don't. I think it clearly was a call where there was a domestic disturbance. His roommate met the officers out and clearly said that he was being attacked over an issue going on inside that apartment, and that's when the officers went in there. So clearly, I don't think it was sort of an issue where the officers were drawn to the scene with the sole purpose of attacking the officers. No, I think it was what always is a domestic call that is always unpredictable. We always tell our officers when we train them that's probably the most dangerous call they go to.
Commissioner, how did it escalate from a knife into this rifle? And was it an assault rifle? We know it was an assault rifle.
It was a tactical rifle, shotgun type instrument, and again, he had a ballistic vest on, so obviously it went to a different level. I don't know what happened in the time that the officers went into the apartment where he was brandishing a knife, but obviously he quickly displayed a rifle and without provocation basically opened fire on our two officers, and thankfully other officers were close by and they were able to neutralize. And I've said a few times, unfortunately, in the last couple of years, nobody likes to take a life. It's probably the most difficult decision we ever make, and we take it very seriously. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Figueroa lost his life, but we had to neutralize the threat. He chose to use deadly force, and when someone's going to use deadly force, we're going to respond appropriately.
But do you think he knew police were coming and therefore put on a vest and armed himself?
Again, I don't know what was going through his mind. All I can tell you is he was a dangerous individual, and our officers went in there unsuspecting of what took place. Again, I'm just thankful, that it looks like they're going to survive. But again, I want to commend the officers. I know District Attorney talked about running into the danger. We've seen it on Marathon Day. We see it every day. I read these reports. These officers are taking, close to probably 700 guns off the streets already this year. This is what goes unnoticed every day. I got a tremendous department. I'm real proud of it. And, to see what played out last night, it was very commendable. I went down to Tufts, and we spoke, Mayor Walsh and myself, and those officers were pretty shooken up on the gunfight and seeing fellow officers shot on the ground. And so, that's a tough part of our job.
You say it's a domestic.
Can you about him being a City of Boston constable? Would that indicate he passed a criminal background check, and was he licensed to carry that combat-style weapon?
He wasn't. He didn't have a license to carry here in Massachusetts. Clearly, as a constable, constables serve civil process, subpoenas or whatnot. There's no requirement. When we do a background check on someone like that, we're not allowed to check the FBI database. It's a general check, only limited to such. If we was applying for a license to carry, we would do that type of check, nationwide check, but there's not strict requirements with a constable. Constable is very much, and I don't use, like a mailman. He goes, he delivers the process in hand. There's no license requirement, but he had no right here in Massachusetts to possess those guns that he had.
When you say it was a domestic incident, can you confirm that it was an argument over a thermostat and heat?
That's what I heard. That's what's out there. It was an argument over that, but I'm sure there was other underlying issues on that, but that's initially what I heard.
Can you confirm that the roommate said he was becoming unhinged? That the roommate told you he was becoming unhinged?
I don't know what he said, to tell you the truth. Obviously, anyone who would shoot one of our officers is clearly an unhinged person.
Can you talk to us about the two officers? Can you tell us something about the backgrounds of the two officers who were injured? And are they conscious? Have they been able to speak?
Mayor Walsh and myself went down there and spoke with them. Obviously, they're heavily sedated. Obviously, we told them we were very proud of their actions. They were very brave. I told them how much outpouring of sympathy and prayers were for them, but there are two outstanding officers assigned to that station. And District 7, East Boston, has a great relationship with the community, as all our department does, but, two outstanding officers. And, again, We had a brief conversation, myself and the mayor, with their family, and it's nice to see how everyone is coming together to support them.
Are they aware of how the tourniquet saved their lives? Are they aware of how close they were?
Absolutely. You know, I had a conversation with Officer, Morris down there, and one of the things he clearly said to me, I want to thank this particular officer. He saved my life. So he knows how close he was to death. His father knew how close he was to death. And I don't want to identify that officer at this time, but he clearly praised the officer who saved his life.